What is going on, everybody? My name is Ethan, this is HardCap Games, and what if I was an Elite Four member? This is the fourth and final installment in the Elite Four series where I show you, the Pokemon trainers at home, what my team would be if I was an Elite Four member in the Pokemon world. Last time in this series, you defeated HCG, the Smash Bros themed leader. The link to that is in the description below. Go check that one out if you missed it. But now it is time for your next challenge. So if you enjoy, leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and with that being said, let's check out the fourth and final Elite Four member. So we enter back into the waiting room. This is it. You have 2 battles to go until you are the champion. Today's and next week's, when if you beat this one, you will take on the champion. I have full faith that you are completely capable of doing this. However, that doesn't mean I'm not going to try and stop you along the way. You look into the standings and find that your next opponent is the #1 trainer in the world, a man named Mori. Mori's nickname is the Twilight Soul, and his team strikes fear into the hearts of the living. It says that Mori is an impossibly difficult trainer to defeat. Very few trainers make it past him. Mori has been in the Elite Four for 6 consecutive years, and before he was in the Elite Four, he was the champion of the Pokemon world for a decade. He is a well-seasoned veteran that you're going to have a lot of trouble taking down. Although Mori is considered to be a top trainer, he has never been able to reclaim his crown from the current champion. However, despite all this, people say that Mori is genuinely a very nice person. He's very polite, he never raises his voice. When he beats you, he gives you some advice and hopes to see you again someday. People never see Mori get too emotional or excited. He's just there to do his job. However, the time of your battle has come, which means it is time to make your way out to the field for your challenge. You are reminded once again that you are playing under the rules set, and you take your position on the field. Mori stands across the battlefield looking incredibly focused. You can instantly tell, however, that this is a man who is very confident in what he can do. Good day. How are you? My name is Mori. I have been battling this circuit for several years. It is not often I get to battle an individual such as yourself. Most challengers, they do not make it to me. Perhaps you are different. Show me your fighting spirit. And the battle begins, and my first Pokemon is Annihilape. Annihilape is a fun Pokemon that packs a giant punch. With its natural attack stat of 115, it immediately starts the battle by having a ton of offensive pressure. However, we shouldn't discount the staying power that it has on the field. Its HP starts at 110 and its defenses are at 80 and 90 respectively, which is pretty good for an offensive-minded Pokemon. This specific Annihilape is a careful nature with a lot of special defense and HP investment, with the rest of it going into attack. Annihilape has the moves Rage Fist, Drain Punch, Bulk Up, and Stealth Rock, and it's holding the Rocky Helmet to make you take damage if you attack me physically. Rage Fist is a pretty fun move to have on Annihilape because every time Annihilape gets hit, Rage Fist power increases by 50. This effect can happen 6 times, meaning that it maxes out at 350 base power. Now, more than likely, Annihilape's not going to reach 350 base power, but imagine if it did. The fun part is, even if Annihilape faints or switches out and switches back in, that power does not go down. It is like that until it says this person is the victor. Drain Punch has the ability to pull my HP back up and give me a little bit more longevity. Bulk Up is here to boost my attack and defense by 1 stage each, and Stealth Rocks is here for a very specific reason. You might think that Stealth Rocks on Annihilape is a little bit strange, which it is because Stealth Rock is not an attacking move, which is what Annihilape is really here to do. However, there are only 2 ways to get rid of Stealth Rocks in Pokemon. That's using the moves Rapid Spin or Defog. Rapid Spin does not work on Annihilape because it's a normal type move and Annihilape is a ghost type Pokemon, leading you to only be able to get rid of Stealth Rocks with Defog. But don't go thinking that's going to be too easy.
Editing Ethan here. That's not entirely true. There's 3 other ways to remove hazards, 2 of which were introduced in this generation, so I'm not going to blame myself for forgetting about them, but Mortal Spin, which is Glamour's move, and Tidy Up, which is Mousehold's other signature move, plus G-Max Wind Rage, which is Corviknight's G-Max. My bad on that. Holds true for Tidy Up, and it'll actually hold true for Mortal Spin in a second too. Plus, you do also have the ability to reflect them back with like Magic Bounce or the move Magic Coat.
If I feel pressured by the chance of defog happening, I can just go into my next Pokemon, Goldango. Goldango's ability Good as Gold makes it immune to all status moves, regardless of their effect. At first this might seem pretty simple, but then you think, no, that means that anything that has this symbol next to it is not going to be able to be used against Goldango. That includes defog. So if Goldango's out on the field and you try to use defog, it's not going to work. Thus meaning that those rocks are on the field until you get rid of Goldango. Goldango is a modest nature with a ton of special attack investment, sending its special attack of 133 further to the moon. Goldango is also holding the Choice Scarf to increase its speed, and it's running the moves Shadow Ball, Make It Rain, Trick, and Nasty Plot. Trick allows me to give you my Choice Scarf, forcing you to be locked into one move that you may not want to be in. I can trick this onto any Pokemon that I really want and take your item, hopefully not another choice item. So in a perfect world, when I give you the Choice Scarf, you go, uh-oh, and you gotta switch out now, which gives me one free turn to use Nasty Plot and set up. Couple that with Make It Rain, which is a base 120 power Steel type special move on this Goldango. That's a pretty solid Pokemon. My third Pokemon is Mimikyu. Finding a physical ghost type Pokemon is somewhat hard to find, but Mimikyu is the premier member of that club. This ghost and fairy type not Pikachu has found its way to be incredibly annoying for people. The Disguise Pokemon has its signature ability, Disguise. When Mimikyu takes its first hit, its Disguise will be busted and it will take 1/8 of its maximum HP instead of the full brunt of whatever attack you used. Until it is hit directly, its Disguise will remain active. Mimikyu has the moves Swords Dance, Shadow Claw, Play Rough, and Shadow Sneak, and is holding the Life Orb to power up those moves. This is a very standard Mimikyu set, but it's still an OU to this day despite being released 7 years ago. My fourth Pokemon is Dragapult. This Galarian pseudo-legendary is a very intimidating Pokemon to take down. It has an impressive speed stat of 142, paired with a very good attack and special attack, meaning this Pokemon was instantly thrown straight into the top tiers. Dragapult really is an offensive weapon that can just dish out hits like no other. It's holding an Expert Bell to give it even more of a boost to its super effective moves, and has the moves Draco Meteor, Shadow Ball, Sucker Punch, and U-Turn. U-Turn allows Dragapult to pivot out into other Pokemon, and it'll almost always go first in that case thanks to its attack stat. U-Turn allows Dragapult to pivot out on almost any Pokemon, and this move will almost always go first thanks to its speed stat. I gave it a ton of special attack investment to make the two attack stats almost even, meaning Dragapult can be a mixed attacker. As a result, I'm actually doing something I believe for the first time in this series and giving it a neutral nature of Bashful. I wanted all of Dragapult's stats to be as good as possible, but I didn't want to detract from any of it because Dragapult really needs its defenses, and it's a mixed attacker, and it needs to be fast, so there's really nothing that I wanted to take away. It's a fantastic mixed sweeper, so reducing any of its stats would just hurt it in the long run. Of course, being the young, brilliant trainer you are, you will take out my first 4 Pokemon with relative ease, putting me into a little bit of a bind. I must say, young trainer, your strength is impressive. Not many have had the strength to make it this far into the battle. I must say I must be getting a little excited. Perhaps I can be pushed to my limit. And my next Pokemon is Gengar. Suddenly, Mori calls his Pokemon back to his Pokeball. The ball begins to glow and expand as my Gengar Gigantamaxes. Gengar has the moves Sludge Bomb, Dark Pulse, Dazzling Gleam, and Shadow Ball. For the 3 turns that Gengar is Dynamax, I really have the ability to control how I want the rest of this battle to go. My hope is to really clean up your team, so I'm probably going to end up setting up a little bit. But Ethan, you don't have any setup moves. How do you do that? Well, you do it through the Dynamax abilities. If I use Max Darkness, which I get by having Dark Pulse, I drop your special defense. If I use Max Ooze, which I get from having Sludge Bomb, I will raise my special attack. If you bring out a Pokemon that I think has the ability to put a status condition on me, I can go for Max Starfall, which sets up Misty Terrain. Or if I think that this is a Pokemon I really want to lock in place right now, I can go for G-Max Terror. Any Ghost type move becomes G-Max Terror when it's on Gengar, and G-Max Terror has the ability to lock you into place like Shadow Tag. So my plan is to use these moves and see what do I still need to accomplish in this battle to be victorious. When my Gigantamax ends, Gengar will go back to normal, and now it's really just a glass cannon waiting to die. But hopefully it's going to take you down with it. Gengar also has the ability Cursed Body, which has a 30% chance of disabling your move when Gengar gets hit, which could severely cripple your plan of attack. And Gengar is also holding the Black Sludge to recover a little bit of its HP every turn. But of course, Gengar will go down, leaving me with just one Pokemon remaining. Now, this is exhilarating. I can't remember the last time I was forced into this position. Now here's the deal. I'm going to defeat you now. And I'm going to take what I have learned from this battle to the champion, and then I'm going to defeat him too, and reclaim the throne that was rightfully mine. Prepare yourselves for the King of Shadows. I throw out my last Pokemon, and out comes Giratina Origin. Giratina in this form has the ability Levitate, and I've given it an adamant nature to absolutely destroy things physically. This physical attack in Giratina here has a pretty wide EV spread to provide a stat boost to most of its stats. With the moves Poltergeist, Stone Edge, Shadow Sneak, and Dragon Claw, it has its strongest stab moves, a great coverage move, and a stab priority move. My hope is that this specific Giratina fight is similar in difficulty to the fight at the end of Legends Arceus. Spoiler alert if you haven't finished that game, it came out a year ago. Go play it if you haven't. This is your final obstacle to overcome before your matchup with the champion. So how are you gonna beat it? After a long and grueling battle, the smoke will clear and your Pokemon is left standing once again, meaning you are the victor. Huh. Well, that was certainly unexpected. Well done, my friend. However, your greatest challenge still lies ahead of you. My advice to you, never lose your composure in the face of greatness, as I just did. Best of luck. And with that, you have officially beaten the Elite Four. I think that this team is the best team that I've built of the 4 Elite Four members. So let me know what you think down below. If you did enjoy, please leave a like down below. Subscribe if you are new so you don't miss any of the action here on the channel. Go check out this video right here that YouTube thinks that you'll like, and check out the whole playlist right here. And with that being said, my name is Ethan, this is HardCap Games, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace.